All right, Pedro. So, talk to me about the whole situation with COVID-19. Right before Churchill had to start changing the requirements about getting in, but also your preparation with the fighters that you have. Talk to me about that whole experience.
Okay, well, at the beginning was tough because we didn't know what was about to happen. Like if we have to close the gym, if we will have any space to train the fighters. But with time, the owner talked to us and told us that if any fighter have a date or he needs to stay in shape, professional fighters, we can use the gym, but the gym should be always like no more than 4 people. And basically that was the way we've been handling the situation when it was like in the beginning that nobody knows what was about to happen. Then like 2 weeks after that, we have a date for Alex Saucedo to fight in Vegas. So we keep working out here. We bring the sparrings. We test every sparring to make sure they were negative, and we take all the precautions, and thanks to God, everything went good. We went to Vegas, to the bubble, and to be honest, I always say this, that it wasn't really different for me because that's what I do. I go to the room, then go to the weigh-in, and then stay in the room. Yeah, I don't go anywhere. And the only big difference was the COVID test. They make us 2 COVID tests. One when you get there, and one right after weigh-in. But basically, it wasn't that bad for me. Like, if I have the gym, for me, it's all good. If it's more people here, it's all good. It wasn't a big problem for me.
I know Alex had like a fight coming up before COVID, right? And
Yeah.
then it had to get canceled.
Yeah.
How was that like transition, like being ready to go to the fight, already preparation, sparring and training, but then redoing it all over again with the uncertainty?
It's what we do. We need to be ready. This is boxing. You never know what can happen until both guys are in the ring. It's just boxing. We need to be ready for every possible situation. Fights cancel all the time. Injuries happen all the time. And now with the COVID, it's just one extra ingredient. But it wasn't that bad. I always like to talk to my fighters to be ready for the unexpected. Expect the unexpected, because until both guys are in the ring, you never know what can happen before. So it wasn't that bad. We just reset, push the reset button, and start all over again.
And during this whole time with the situation with COVID, what have you learned about boxing that maybe you didn't learn about boxing before? Just how it is right now, how it's dealing with the uncertainty and the fighters training, and then the fights being postponed. It's just all of that.
Yeah, more. I get involved more in the mental aspect of the game. Like, I came from Cuban backgrounds boxing. They use a lot of psychology, but I get to apply it, like in the full apply of all the knowledge that I've been getting, and I'm still getting. I'm young. I need to keep learning every day. I love to learn, but it was more the mental aspect of the game.
How have your fighters taken this whole situation? Like, what's the feeling with them handling the situation?
We're like a big family here, so we support each other, and it wasn't that hard for them either, because they know we are here for them, and if they need something, and we've been training consistently during the whole time, and boxers, real fighters are happy if they have a place to train. So it was pretty easy for them. I won't say it was super hard, because I will be lying.
How do you feel about the sport just in general? It coming back, about when we'll probably see people in the stands or big fights is just.
It's hard to say until they don't have like a vaccine. They're saying they want to get, and all that thing. I think for this year we're not getting nothing. This year we are not getting any big fights with people. I'm pretty sure. I think we will have to wait till next year at least.
And that's what's sad about boxing, right? Where you have a fighter that only fights probably like twice a year,
Yeah.
and they're losing their prime
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah. sad, but it is what it is. It's the reality we're living today, and we need to adapt.
I think it's so true. Like we're mentally trained to get physically ready in the gym, but not mentally.
Yeah, yeah. It's the mental aspect, the conversations after the training, during the training, getting together at least once a week to have a meeting of what we've been working on, what discuss about the boxing program that is different for each fighter. So it's very important communication and getting into a good place in the head of the fighter.
What's some advice that you would tell a fighter that's trying to get into the sport of boxing with this whole uncertainty situation?
That it doesn't matter that it's not the best time right now. That if you really want to do it, go for it. Boxing is the hardest sport in the world, but it's the most beautiful sport in the world. And I will say keep going, just keep going.